Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World Blitz Scrabble Championship. Today is Friday, April 2nd, 2021. It is 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time, but it is still 5 p.m. on Thursday evening back on the west coast of the U.S., where I am coming at you. My name is Evans Clinchy, and I am excited as all get out. We are getting ready for a triple header. Not one, not two, but three matches in the BlitzChamps playoffs tonight. It's going to be one after another, non-stop action. Hope you are all ready for this. Let's take a look at the bracket. We got three matches tonight. You see in the bottom left corner of your screen, we got Day and CBB. That is Jesse Day and Conrad Bassett-Bouchard coming up first, followed by Will Anderson and Aaron Bader, and then after that, David Eldar and Matthew O'Connor. A triple header of action coming up right now. It's going to be Jesse and Conrad on this channel right here, followed by Will and Aaron on Axer Typo, Josh Sokol's channel, and then O'Connor, Eldar, both streaming themselves. That'll be 64-bit Scrabble, Matthew O'Connor, and Deldar 182, David Eldar. So looking forward to all of these matches. They're going to be three straight bangers. Hope you guys are ready for all of them. Hello to everybody. Hope you guys are having a good Friday or Friday morning / Thursday evening, I suppose that is. And let's get ready for a very, very exciting triple header. Just going to quickly check the Woogles.io room. It looks like Jesse and Conrad are both online and ready to go, so we can get started in just a little bit. I will send them a quick chat saying you guys may begin whenever, and hope they are ready to start pretty soon. Hello to everybody. Hey, WTF. Hey, 64-bit Scrabble. Hey, Newt Nits. Hope you guys are having a good evening. Hope you guys are ready for Conrad and Jesse. Going to be an absolute banger. Let's go indeed. All right, taking a quick look at the Woogles room. Those guys are in the chat but not responding, so we will just stall for a little bit. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this. Have been looking forward to it all week long. Jesse and Conrad, two of the best players in the world, and of course, two of the co-creators of Woogles.io as well. So they are playing on their own platform tonight for a chance to advance in the bracket. Here's a look at the schedule. As I mentioned, we got three matches tonight, one after the other. It's going to be Conrad and Jesse first, and then Aaron and Will after that, and then David and Matthew after that. Three straight big old matches. Looking forward to all of them. I'm just going to take one more look at the chat. It looks like we're still waiting on Conrad and Jesse, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. But feel free to talk amongst yourselves, and hope you guys are all enjoying mingling in the chat. Looks like a pretty big audience for this one. Enjoying seeing you guys trickling in, but all we need now is to see Jesse and Conrad begin playing Scrabble. That's kind of the hard part, I guess. Going to the Woogles room. It is currently not showing up on your screen for some reason. Let's fix that. If I could just get the board to show up, that would be great. Okay, so we'll be ready for Conrad and Jesse when they are ready to begin. Conrad says he thinks Jesse's finishing a work thing. How dare he? Okay, well then we will just keep on stalling. We can just, oh, Jesse says he's here. All right, excellent. Didn't want to have to hand out forfeit losses in the playoffs. That would be very, very sad. I want to say thanks to Jesse and Conrad both for being accommodating. We had some scheduling issues to work out, but they are fortunately both here and only 3 minutes late as we get ready to begin game number one in just a moment, as Conrad and Jesse are both online and ready to go. Conrad is the last of the dingoes, Pete points out. That's right. So yeah, Pete and I were both eliminated in the final week. And then Jacob Teitelbaum advanced to the playoffs, but was knocked out on the very first night as he lost 5-3 to Janil Da Silva. So we got 14 players remaining. Last night, Chris May was knocked out as he lost 5-4 to Andrew Fisher. And now Janul has knocked out Jacob Teitelbaum as well. So 14 players left, and it's going to be 11 after tonight as we got three elimination matches. And the first one starts right now. We got Conrad and Jesse, and we are underway. Kind of a clunky opening rack for Conrad. G, S, and 5 vowels. Yes, Conrad and Jesse are both Alchemist team teammates, as well as myself. I was also on that team. Unfortunately, we lost to the Australians, but it's a fun time nonetheless. All right, underway, and it's an exchange from Conrad, followed by Utu for 6, the play by Jesse, keeping AENT, a pretty good leave. So both players kind of playing through some rough opening draws, but I'm sure they can draw a pretty good rack soon, both of them. Goon for 11, so a pretty slow start for both players. Under tax, monster bingo from Jesse, and here we go. Jesse Day draws first blood here in game one. 107 to 11, he leads. And the Z now drawn by Conrad. What can he do with that? Not seeing any super great options for it. I guess you have Zeal here as one possibility. That'd be 32. You don't really want to close off bingos when you're down by 100 early, though. Yeah, Lays looks a little better. Doesn't close things down as much. All right, so it's back to Jesse, who's got unerotic and neurotic. He chooses unerotic for 74 and a pretty big lead early, up by 2 big bingos, and Conrad is in trouble. Just a reminder that resignation is allowed, as there's no more point in counting spread or anything like that, so players can resign any game they choose, and they also don't have to play the full 9 games. It is best of 9. You can win 5-4. You could also win 5-0. Anything can happen. All right, Conrad plays 8 for 14, just playing through the vowels, and he's got a pretty good lead of AELRS. Vowel heavy rack for Jesse this time. See a lot of early GG and resign type messages in the chat. I'm not falling for that, no way. 130 point deficit is nothing. When you're one of the world's best players and you're capable of drawing a couple of bingos and playing them, you can get right back in the game real quick. Jesse plays 00 for 13, and, well, okay. Still too many vowels for Conrad. He's playing through it here. Ah for 7. Not a great game so far for Conrad. Both players playing through vowels here. Almost a bingo here for Jesse. He'd have hind feet with an open N, but the N is unfortunately not open for him. What can he play here in real life? Something with this H probably. Well, I don't think there's a 5-letter word with the H either, so kind of a tricky spot. He'll play hefted. Nice play, 37 points, and Conrad is fishing for a bingo here. He plays woe for 28. And it's back to Jesse here. So a pretty big lead for Jesse Day so far, but Conrad is trying to get his first bingo to come back in the game. Oh yeah, it's pointed out that 00 sets up his W. All right, so Phil for 27. Jesse just keeps on scoring, and Paroles appears to not play. Just double checking that Dauf does not take an S. It's an adjective meaning dull. Not seeing a place for Paroles or Reposal here. Ooh, he tries Dauf's. It's no good, and it is challenged off. Yep. So Conrad tries the phony and then resigns. It'll be game 1 goes to Jesse Day by resignation. So Jesse with a good start here, up 1-0. A lot of Scrabble still to go. But as good a start as you can ask for if you're Jesse Day. Up 1-0, and game 2 coming up. Yeah, so I think we've already learned that without resignations, matches are a lot slower. When you allow them, matches can be done in 45 minutes or 50 or something like that pretty easily. Last night against Andrew Fisher, Chris May resigned a couple times and it made the whole match a lot faster. So we've already learned that. All right, game 2 begins, and it is Jesse exchanging. And now Conrad with definitely some scoring potential here. Zek, yeah, he does play Zek. And I don't think Jesse has anything here, but he can certainly score decently well. Something like Bod for 22 would be not bad. PRST is an okay lead. If you just draw 1 vowel with it, it can suddenly become pretty good. Oh yeah, broad is a word. That's better than bod. Good call. Yeah, he does play broad, and more vowels for Conrad here. Maybe you play something like, what do you play here? A little bit tricky. You could play Avo for 33. That is what he plays, okay. Yeah, a Boyle also would have been an option. All right, so it's back to Jesse, who is down by 42. Not a great board for scoring much right now, but let's see what he can do with it. I don't think there's any kind of 5-letter word ending in a vowel here, unfortunately for Jesse. Oh, wait, you could play Spado, I guess. Spado for 34, or Dato, similar idea, 25. Less score, but you do keep your PS leave pretty strong. Oh yeah, post-dated was blocked. That's a great call. Post-dated would have played as a 9 into the ED, but Abo blocked it. All right, so Conrad just kind of playing through these not very good racks, and he does have a little bit of a lead. And Jesse has the first blank. What can be done with it, though? Not easy. Gospels, I don't believe is going to go anywhere. What am I missing? Yeah, Pogless, not going to happen. I think society's been pretty Pogless ever since like 1998, right? Oh, Gospels does fit. Okay, Gospels fits here. I couldn't count the squares. I thought there were only 6 squares there. All right, Gospels does come down from Jesse, 69 points, and it's back to Conrad. Not seeing a bingo with any of these floating tiles. G-O-S-P-E. You need to have an A for Gladiator. Oh, Gladius is a word. There you go. 63 points for Gladius, and Conrad takes the lead now. Pretty close game. There's this open G that you probably want to play with here. Something like Vug might be called for. Or something like that anyway. Jesse now down by 28. He's still got a minute on the clock, but Conrad doing much better time-wise than Jesse is. All right, Vug is indeed the play, and Ventils, I think, oh, Vainless is a word. There you go. Vainless for 90, and Conrad pulls way ahead. Up by almost 100 now, and trouble for Jesse. He can score some points with his H. There's multiple hotspots for it. This looks like a very strong option. Yep, just ha, there you go. And so Jesse's alive if he can bingo soon, but Conrad has drawn the other blank. And if he can bingo pretty soon, it's going to be tough for Jesse to come back. I don't think he has anything this turn. Oh, wait, I-Wink. He's got I-Wink. That would play for 71. Not the easiest bingo to see, but I'm pretty sure it's a word, right? Hey, bot, define I-Wink. Yeah, so that's one option. But Conrad taking his thing. He'll just play you instead, and ooh, there's a 9 from Jesse. Detainers for 72. Nice play. Jesse's back in this game, but definitely Conrad is still close to a bingo here. What does he have this turn? Inscribe? No, he doesn't have that. 2 I's and 2 N's. This is tricky. Sirenian, that's a word. Good job. So yeah, you can play Sirenian in one of 2 spots. He's got the S here and the S here. Plenty of ways for Conrad to get one down here. He's already ahead by 18. The bingo would put him even further ahead. He plays Skinnier, same idea. Yeah, Resoning is an option. Not to be confused with Resigning, which is what Jesse might do after seeing this bingo. So Jesse's now down by a lot of points. Almost 100, and clock is ticking on him as well. 26 in the bag. If you can find a creative way to get yourself close to a bingo this turn, you might not be dead yet, but it's going to be tough. All right, so Tower, nice scoring play, 31, with a lead of, ooh, that makes a phony, okay. I thought Where was good. It must be Tower that's no good. All right, I didn't know that either. Tower's no good. All right, so Conrad just keeps on scoring, and Jesse plays Goer instead, which might have been better in the first place, actually. So Goer puts Jesse within a big bingo. If he can find a 90-point play soon, he's got a chance, I suppose. Going to be tough. Kind of a weird rack for Conrad here, but he's just going to keep scoring and stay ahead. 24 points from you. Looks pretty good. And no spot for Mulatto on this board, I don't think. So Jesse's down by 110. Looking pretty grim for him. Maybe there's a creative board opening play you can come up with, but he's got to keep scoring a lot as well. Like, I don't think move for 20 is going to cut it. So difficult position here. Jesse's really getting low on time. 40 seconds until he flags. So it's looking like Conrad's in pretty good shape to get game 2 here and even the score 1-1. Time is running low here for Jesse. I'm not sure whether Jesse's a resigner or not. Of course, he did help create Woogles, and so he had a say in creating the resign button in the first place. All right, Motu, I like that, opening things up a little bit. But I don't think it's going to work, as he is still down by 98, and Conrad's going to have plenty of scoring options on this turn, that's for sure. I see Dildar in the chat, of course, a big proponent of the resign button himself. Yes, there are $0 to be won by anybody in this tournament. We're going to enjoy ourselves anyway, okay? I don't know who started the Resign Gang meme, but you guys are terribly, terribly annoying. Every single blowout game is just Resign Gang, Resign Gang. Oh, you did. Congratulations, Benji. You are the king of the annoyances. I'm just messing with you. All right, shock for 27 from Conrad. Looking like Jesse's too stubborn to resign, but down by 115 late. Not looking good. Conrad gets the X-Bomb as well, just piling it on, and it is going to be a 1-1 match. Jesse's going to flag rather than resign, but the result is the same. 1-1 is your score, and it's on to game 3, all tied up. All right, so a little bit out of hand here as Conrad kind of ran away with game 2, and it'll be on to game 3 in a little bit. Just a reminder about your schedule. We're going to have Aaron and Will after this, and then David and Matthew after that. We're going to have a triple header here, so hope you guys are strapped in for a long evening of Scrabble. 3 matches in a row coming up. All right, exchange 1. Wow, Conrad has Slicer plus a J, and he trades the J, keeping Slicer. Pretty good chance of bingoing with that. If he does draw recoils, he's also got Cioralish into the H as one option, or Creolist into the T. Plenty of options. Creolist is 83, and Cioralish is probably even more than that, right? He plays Creolist. All right, 83 for that, and looks like QI is coming up, or Quiz, one of those for Jesse. You can play QI for 26, or Quiz for 42. He chooses Quiz, and the first blank goes to Conrad now. So what is there in this rack? This calls for a bot. There's got to be some 8s, right? Wow, there's no 8s and no 7s, of course, in this rack. Yeah, bro faces. There you go. Ooh, Obfuscate. Very cool. All right, so if you can't bingo, what do? You just play Quaffs for 43. Very nice. Wow, 43 points keeping BE blank. Very strong from Conrad. And now it's back to Jesse, down by 56. And he's got an interesting rack, some scoring potential with the B and the K here. What can he do with it, though? Not easy. Yeah, Benji, you got to save that word-finding ability for tomorrow. You got a tough match coming up. We got Benji and Austin Shin tomorrow afternoon. Oh, good. We got the bots. Love the bots. Thank you, Wabin. Get all over that. All right, Abrupt. I don't know if that's good. Is it just Abrupt's? No, I think Abrupt is good. All right, so Conrad with a nice bingo there. Abrupt for 80 points, and it is back to Jesse, who's down by a boatload. Doesn't quite have the bingo rack he's looking for. Almost has debiting, but the G is not open for him. Looks like nothing here. You could just play Bride, maybe open up this part of the board a little bit and hope to draw something next turn, but it's going to be tough. All right, Dib, also a good board opening play. Now you got this lane to work with. And Conrad's drawn kind of awkwardly here. Not looking great for this turn, but he is up by 90. We'll just play Gion, and a lot of vowels for Jesse. Not a great draw. Looking like GG, but we'll see here. 110-point game. Conrad has been drawing pretty poorly since the bingo. I mean, he had to play through that J and 2 N's and 2 O's rack. Oh, the combination of the bots followed by the copy pasta is just wonderful, guys. I love it. All right, so Jesse playing through vowels and opening more lanes, but Creolian is coming up here, and it's going to be a big lead for Conrad. All right, so 309 to 132 looking like it's out of reach. I also want to point out that Jesse very well may have not read the email saying that resignations were allowed. I don't think he's the best reader of his inbox in the world, so he might not know that he can resign. There's that possibility. All right, rather than resign, Jesse's going to bingo. He plays 79-point matinee, and he's going to draw Analyst. He's got another bingo. This is not over, guys. After Analyst, he's going to be within maybe one more bingo coming back. Oh, or Alanins. There you go. That's even better. Alanins for 81. Not over at all, David Eldar. Not over at all. It's a 38-point game and kind of a weird draw for Conrad now. He could play View or something, but Jesse's one bingo away here, and there's still a blank unseen. Yeah, he could play Upview. He could play a phony and lose his turn. So all sorts of possibilities here. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything much better than like a view or something, right? What am I missing? I don't know here. All right, so 2 for 28, and I don't think he's got the bingo this turn, but he's close to some stuff. Let's see if Jesse can find a creative fish. Maybe open up some more lanes and try to get back in it. Not over yet. I insist it is not over. No way. Jesse does have only 14 seconds until the overtime penalty kicks in, and the 10 points might matter. Because even if he does bingo, it's going to be a very difficult outrunning process in the end game. Jesse really letting that clock tick. I think he knows there's no bingo. The question is, how do you score some and keep a good lead and also open your bingo possibilities for next turn? You don't really want to play anything that blocks. Like Pote is terrible because you don't want to kill off bingos here. Hop and Zep. Oh yeah, there's a good idea. You could have played Hop and Zep there. All right, so he plays Gippo. And now it's back to, yeah, Gippo is also not a word. Okay, I didn't think so. Gippo comes off. Very unfortunate lost turn. And yeah, Pox Virus is unfortunately not playable. I was hoping for that too. All right, so back to this rack again for Jesse, who's now down by 119. And it's not looking great for him. He plays Perry for 37. Good scoring play, but he's going to be in trouble here. He does have the Creolist's hook, so if he gets a bingo ending in S, just got to draw that blank. He does draw the blank. Okay, that makes it a little interesting, but he's down by 105. Pretty bleak situation. Let's see here. You just play good, all right. And Conrad is drawing normal racks. As long as he just scores a little bit each turn, he's going to be pretty well ahead. Yeah, Wars is going to score 20 and kill bingos pretty nicely. And that should do it. All right, playing out the string here in the end game, but it's going to be a win for Conrad, barring something really weird. Yeah, good time was almost playable, but no open E or M for Jesse there. He had good TI. All right, so Conrad playing a right for 28, and Jesse's going to play his final tiles. Okay, final score is Conrad 478, Jesse 396, and it is a win for Conrad in game 2. He was down 1-0, now he's up 2-1. Back-to-back wins for Conrad, and it's on to game 4. So, looking like we're going to have a close match. A pivotal game 4 coming, though. Jesse does not want to be behind 3-1. He's going to have a really hard time coming back from that. So, a very important game 4 for him. A reminder about your schedule. We're going to have in 37 minutes Aaron Bader playing Will Anderson. That's going to be on Josh Stokol's Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/extratypo. And then after that, David Eldar and Matthew O'Connor both streaming themselves as they take on each other in the third match of the night. Looking forward to both of those. All right, back to the board. Game 4 starts now, and it is it is Jesse going first. And Jesse plays Aeonic for 22. Conrad, a little bit of a constant heavy rack here, but I'm sure he can play through it. There's something like Hinky. Hinky is one option. But there's other plays as well. Yeah, Kythe. There you go. Nice word. Kythe at 9H, you say. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, so Kythe for 45. Nice play by Conrad. Gets +5 for the challenge as well. And I would expect to see How or Hoa coming right back. A nice H hotspot opens up there for Jesse. That seems like a reasonable response. Keeping ANOS a pretty good leave. Jesse, though, taking his time. Oh, he plays Oho instead, keeping AANS. Probably a weaker leave by a little bit, but scores a little bit more. All right, Vitro for 16. And Sarmenta to come from Jesse, I'm guessing. Oh, Sumatra, also a word. There you go. 76 for that. And all consonants, but there is a blank involved for Conrad here. He could play Falks. Yeah, he does. Falks for 28. And, ooh, Zoril. Jesse's going to bingo right away. But there's the blank still for Conrad. What can he do with this? Yep, Rosiding looks like the play. But Conrad taking his time here. If he finds Rosiding, it seems like a no-brainer. 101. And that'll put him right back in the game. He's currently down by just a little bit more than that. So a big deficit early, but he can make it up with just one bingo. All right, he does find Rosiding, 101 for that, and we got ourselves a game, 207 to 195. Jesse challenges the bingo, so +5, and it's 207 to 200. Very close game now. Looks like no bingo available here, although it's a pretty decently balanced rack. What should Jesse do? This is there's no real standout star play, I don't think. There's not anything super high scoring, and the leads you're keeping aren't really that great. You could just consider Odia, 22 points. I'm not seeing much more than that score-wise. But Jesse taking his time. Oh yeah, Ogum is a word. There you go. Ogum for 21 looks pretty reasonable. Dogma, yeah. All good options. So Jesse is taking his time, but I think this is the right kind of turn to take your time on. There's no clear star play. There's no obvious bingo or obvious scoring spot. You want to really take your time to think about your strategic choices here. It's a tough game. It's an even score. You're not really playing from ahead or behind. All right, he plays go for 13. That's a pretty low scoring move, but he's really going for a bingo. A-D-E-S. There's an open R to play with that might come in handy for him. Definitely some chances here for Jesse to bingo if he draws well. And so Wad comes down and Bestead debates. Yeah, debates plays. 98 points for debates. So the gambit works as Jesse gets his bingo. But now it is back to Conrad, who's got, I don't think he's got a bingo at all here. Pretty promising looking rack. It's a gambit. You're giving up a little bit of value now for a chance at a bingo later. I think that qualifies as a gambit. I'm going to stand by it. I think there's been a movement lately to kind of appropriate chess terminology in Scrabble, and I think there are places where it makes sense to do so. I'm going to go with that. Yeah, so no C for tip carts. Yeah, cat trips is not the valid word there. Cat trips, I like it. Just not for actually playing. So let's see here. 40 seconds left for Conrad. He's down by a pretty big bingo-sized score. He probably knows that he can't bingo, but what's the best way to keep your options open for next turn? You could play like Pat. I don't know. Oh, Tamp? Oh, Tamp. This Tamp. I see what you're saying. All right, he plays Pat instead. Tamp would have been a very interesting setup. You can play Tamp here, making us a hook for Stamp. But no dice. Jesse's just going to keep scoring. Weenie for 27, and he is ahead by almost 100 here. But Miss Train comes down. Conrad gets the big bingo. And now Jesse draws the blank. I see Euploid as one option. Euploid plays here for a pretty good score. Or Neuropill, that works too. 77 for Neuropill, and Jesse pulls pretty far ahead. Not a very good draw for Conrad here. Looking like we could have a 2-2 series here. Conrad doesn't really have a great scoring play here. I guess you could play Decoy, but you're going to be keeping UV with virtually no chance of a bingo to come back. I don't think that's going to be a path to winning this game. Clock is ticking. All right, he just plays U for 27. His lead is coved. He could maybe draw co-drive if he gets extremely lucky. Co-drive and cur, but the odds of that are extremely low. All right, he draws not that. And Jesse just keeps on scoring points. 26 for Kwai. Exactly 100-point deficit now. Co-drive would have been almost 100, but did not draw it. Let's see here. Not much to be done, I don't think. Yeah, be COVID. There you go. Bekovid would actually score 99. He'd be down by 1 point after Bekovid. All right. As for valid words, not sure what there is here. Conrad letting the clock tick away here. 15 seconds left. He just plays the B. He's still going for co-drive, I think. Not a bad idea if it's the one way you can seal this game. Oh, he draws it and it's blocked. Wow. Co-drive was drawn, but Jesse blocks it. Wow. So he does have divorce as a bingo over here, but it's going to score a lot less and it's not going to win. 70 points for divorce. And now Jesse can just play the endgame out and win pretty comfortably. Your final score is 485, 452. Yeah, co-drive would have made it pretty close, but you're probably right. It wouldn't have been quite enough. All right. In any event, Conrad comes up short in Game 4, and we got a 2-2 tied series with Game 5 coming up. Couldn't ask for a more exciting series so far. We're tied 2-2. We've had some close games. We've had some interesting attempts at comebacks. Ooh, Jesse said he had Allenins as a 7-tile overlap. Yeah, we saw it post-dated in the chat. I'm not sure if anybody saw the overlap of Allenins. That's cool stuff. Ooh, there's some gambling going on. I see Jalopnik 1 has been betting on Jesse. I love it. I'm not going to ask who's betting against you, even though I think I know the answer. All right, so we got a 2-2 tied series with 5 games potentially still to go. And current odds, I'm going to say 50-50 chance for both players. 2 very strong players, very evenly matched, and they're tied up so far. Even money. Bet on whoever you want. So we're tied 2-2, and just a reminder that we're going to have more Scrabble coming up after this. Another look at your schedule. We're about 30 minutes away from Aaron Bader versus Will Anderson. That's going to be at twitch.tv/axortypo. And then after that, David Eldar versus Matthew O'Connor. 3 straight matches, all in prime time for you guys if you're in the US, that is. And then we're going to have more action for you tomorrow. Austin Shin and Ben Schomer are going to be playing at in the afternoon, their local time in the US, 7 p.m. GMT. And then Dave Wiegand's going to be playing on Friday night his time, Saturday morning for Edward Oculitz, as those 2 guys go head-to-head. So looking forward to that. And then on Saturday as well, it's going to be an Barwaj against Piotr Andronowski. Here's a look at your bracket. It looks like this. The winner of this match is going to play the winner of Will versus Aaron. And then after that, we're going to have a final answer on who plays Andrew Fisher in the second round, as the winner of David Eldar and Matthew O'Connor will play Andrew in round 2. So that's a look at the bracket. We are just waiting on Jesse and Conrad for game number 5. Looks like those guys are taking a little break in between games. But I'll let you know when they're ready to begin, and we will get right back to the action. Definitely no ISC theme. No chance of that. No way. All right, let's go to the board. Game number 5 gets started now, and it is Conrad with the first blank right out of the bag. Whose stream should you watch? Both of them, obviously. Got to get that multi-twitch going on. All right, Zykai is very nice, and it is found by Conrad indeed. So 72 points for Zykai, and Conrad opens with a lead here in Game 5, looking to go up 3-2. Ooh, Kaikai's would have been amazing. That is really cool. But Zykai will work as well. All right, so Starets, very nice. Oh, was Terzetta actually playable? Wow. No, it wasn't. He didn't have the E. Okay. All right, so Starets, very nice. 34 points for that. And now I don't think he has anything here, Conrad. Tautomer doesn't quite fit. And I don't think you have the other letters you need. No D for Outdream. I suppose the bot can answer this for us. Outream blank. Yeah, no L for emulator either. Yeah, Mazoot looks like a pretty good option. You can play Mazoot here. It does open a couple of triples. It's pretty aggressive, but maybe aggression is called for in this situation. You got a pretty flexible rack to work with. So Conrad really taking his time here. Yeah, Mazza is also an option here, appropriate for Passover, which has begun. This is tough. I don't think Conrad really wants to play a super wide open board against Jesse. I'm just guessing about that. And definitely a play like Matza or Mazout would lead to a pretty open situation. But what can you play that's not open in this position? Not really much. All right, Moa does come down, and Jesse bingos. Cantlets puts him almost in the lead, only down by 6. And now, kind of an awkward draw for Conrad. 2 U's. What can he do with it? I guess Prude is an option. You can just play Prude here. Kill off that lane that you just opened up. 33 points for that. Seems like a pretty reasonable choice. Oh, Terp. Is that a word? Wow, I don't know these things. It is not good. All right, Terp comes off. Would have been a very nice play if it were good, but unfortunately it's not. Oh, Puder. Very nice. So Puder actually plays here for a very good score. And Conrad will have a second chance to find that unless Jesse blocks the spot. I don't think Jesse really has much of anything to block with. Very awkward rack for blocking in any way. Oh, Rhino, that's a word. Okay, so Rhino blocks Puder or anything else in that lane. Nice play by Jesse, scoring 33 and taking out that triple. So now what can you do? Not easy. So Conrad loses the turn with the phony, and he is down by 27 now. Also getting in pretty bad trouble on the clock. 40 seconds left to Jesse's 206. I think there was some speculation earlier that people thought Conrad was going to be the better player in terms of time management, but so far, Jesse's been holding his own, and Conrad's had some trouble. All right, just Pew for 9 is Conrad's choice. Not the best board for bingoing on, but he's going to fish for something anyway. Might not have had any better options, so what are you going to do? I guess Duod here is an option, but again, you're down by... Actually, you're not down by very much. Duod actually makes it basically a tie score. And I see Fumed as one option here, just into this D along the bottom. Is there anything better than just Fumed? Yeah, no Hamfed. Oh, or is it Ham-Fed? All right, Fumed comes down. Oh, Humphed is a word. Yeah, that would have been better. Good call. Humphed would have been a nice play. All right, but Odd for 19. And both players kind of playing through some awkward draws here. Not likely to see a bingo anytime soon from either player. But Harry scores pretty well, 30 points, and Jesse pulls a little bit ahead here, up by 45. What can Conrad do? He's getting very low on time. Over on his first 3 minutes, he's got under a minute till he flags and loses this game. Pivotal game 5. Whoever wins this one's going to be up 3-2. So the winners needs to split 2-2 in the remaining 4 games to win the match. All right, Vet is the choice from Conrad. Seems pretty good. EIRT and a chance at bingoing here, but ooh, Penne blocks the bingos. Look at that. Nicely played defensively. Hard to bingo hooking onto a P here, and now you can't bingo at all atop Fumed. I guess unless you have like something making penned, but yeah, it's very unlikely. Anti-red almost plays. No. All right, Notarized, that's a bingo. 58 points through the Z. An airball of a bingo. And, ooh, Gooey, nice scoring play from Jesse. He's going to keep piling it on here, up by 48. And, ooh, Jesse draws pretty poorly here, but he can play Wull, killing off the triple. And it's looking like, oh, Gratine played. Wow, that's a nice find, guys. Gratine would have played making Penner. But in any event, Jesse plows forward, up by 28 and on turn. Conrad's in time trouble. Bad tiles, though, for Jesse. Does he want to waste a turn exchanging here? He might. The pool's got plenty of vowels. 10-9 consonant vowel ratio, or vowel consonant, that is, unseen here. If he exchanges, he'll almost certainly draw some vowels. You could just trade all 7. There's just not a lot. Wow, he plays Clay for 18, just leaving the board closed and scoring a little bit. Conrad dishes the Q, and still a pretty awkward rack for Jesse here. Yeah, he played Clay for 18 points, keeping BDJVW. Might be the worst lead I've ever seen, but on this board, it's not really about keeping a good lead. You just want to score what you can, as the board is pretty locked down for any kind of point scoring whatsoever. So Jesse is looking around for plays. He finds lead for 17, and wow, Conrad bingos. Did not see that coming. Goriness for the lead, up by 28 now. Jesse scores pretty well with the J, but he is behind by a little bit. Conrad's got 13 seconds, 12, 11, 10. Got to play something. 9 seconds. He plays go for 22. Jesse's rushing him here. Can Conrad make it in time? He's got 5 seconds. He plays die, and it is a scramble here at the end. Conrad's got 1 second. Oh, he flags. Wow, Conrad was ahead on points, but just couldn't get a playoff in time. He loses the game on time, and Jesse gets the win. 3-2. Jesse leads the match now. Just a lot of time pressure, and Conrad just couldn't find a play. And yeah, that was real close. There were 2 tiles left, and he just couldn't find a play in time. So Jesse does a nice job of just rushing in the endgame and forcing Conrad into a rough situation. So 385, 359, Conrad was ahead and just couldn't come up with it. So 3-2, Jesse leads the series. So taking a quick look at the schedule, we're going to have 2 more matches coming up. It's going to be Aaron Bader versus Will Anderson in about 20 minutes, and then David Eldar versus Matthew O'Connor in 1 hour and 20 minutes. So looking forward to both those matches. Yeah, those time scrambles can be tough. It looks like Conrad was trying to get a play down and just barely couldn't get off in time. But in any event, it is 3-2 now in Jesse's favor, and on to game 6. Yeah, the tricky situation here is if you've got an issue with Woogles, you got to report it to yourself or your opponent. I'm not sure which is worse. But in any event, a win is a win. Jesse gets the win here under disappointing circumstances. You don't really want to see a game come down to that, but the time scramble goes Jesse's way. And all right, a minute break. All right. So Jesse taking a minute break, he says, and we will just kind of stall until then. But it is 3-2, Jesse with the lead, and he's just got to split 2-2 in the final 4 to take the match. Let's take a quick glimpse at the bracket. Here's how things look right now. The winner of this match will play the winner of the next match. So it'll be Jesse and Conrad, and then Aaron and Will after this. And the 2 winners will play each other next week. And then tomorrow it'll be Austin versus Benji, and the winner of that will play Janul da Silva in the 2nd round. And waiting on David Eldar and Matthew Connor as well to see who plays Andrew Fisher in the next round. And then we have a wide open northeast corner of the bracket as Dave Wiegand, Edward Okulitz, Piotr Andronowski, and Anand Bharadwaj are all still pending as we await the results from later this weekend. So looking forward to all of those matches. Should be a lot of fun to watch. All right, it sounds like Conrad and Jesse are ready to resume pretty shortly, so we will be ready for that when it happens. But until then, I'll just kind of sit here and stall, talking you guys through the bracket. It's a pretty straightforward format, not a lot of questions I'm expecting. It's pretty much just single elimination from here on out. Every match is best of 9, so first player to win 5 games wins. We've already seen Andrew beat Chris 5-4, and Janul beat Jacob 5-3, so a couple of fairly close matches. I had the pleasure of commentating on Andrew versus Chris last night. It was a blast. The highlight of the match was Andrew playing Reliction as a 9-letter bingo to bingo out and win a game over Chris. It was just an amazing out bingo for the win. Oh my god, look at this copy pasta. It's just epic and long and terrible. All right. Waiting on Conrad and Jesse to resume. It looks like we are still waiting on them, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the replay of the match. I apologize for the sound issues early in the stream last night. That was my fault. So I think there was no sound for like the first minute or so of Andrew versus Chris, but fortunately the microphone came back on for the rest of the match, and it was pretty much a banger all the way through. All right, let's get to the board. Game number 6 begins now, and it is Jesse going first, looking to go up 4-2, and he's got no bingo here, not really a great scoring option either. Kind of a difficult rack to decide what to do with. He just plays Oud for 8 points, keeping a good lead, A-G-I-N, and it's Conrad with the first blank. Let's see here. He plays Aya for 8, keeping E-I-R blank. Pretty good leave, and Jesse is still playing through too many vowels here. He might play Aya also. We could have a staircase of Ayas. All right, he plays Ainga for 23 instead. And now Conrad is, I don't believe, going to bingo this turn. But certainly thinking there's a way that he can fish for something and have pretty good options next turn. Like AY looks not bad. Give yourself a big juicy double lane here. Already plays Yeg for 16. Is again a word? I don't think so. I've never heard of that, again. What would that even mean? All right, so let's see here. An X, but not a great hotspot for it. I mean, you could play Hex if you want to keep 2 eyes. Oh, Helix is a word. There you go. 44 points for Helix. And now Conrad will certainly bingo. The only question is, what word will he pick? Let's see here. I'm not seeing a double through this L. I see allergen, but what actually plays with the L in 5th or 6th position? Does he have anything? Ooh, linearly. No, that doesn't quite work. All right, so no double, but it is hard to conclude that without taking a long think on it. I'm sure there's something from the A, though. Yeah, airplane. Nope, actually, there's nothing from the A either. Difficult position. It looks like there's a good bingo, but you might only have a weaker or lower scoring one available here. It's hard in a Blitz game to kind of look through all the playable or not playable options and find the best one. But there's no double through this L and nothing from the A to the triple either. All right, Inhalers looks pretty good. Good job by Conrad not burning too much time. Those can be some real clock killers, those racks that don't bingo the way you want them to. All right, 48 for Puny. Nice comeback from Jesse. He has the lead despite the bingo from Conrad. And now, looks like no spot for Dovlets. Yeah, not seeing any playable bingo here. You could play Dev and Vox. Oh, you could just play the V. Wow, Conrad fishing for a bingo here with D-E-L-O-S-T. There's some things you can draw for sure. I wonder how often you bingo with that lead. That is very interesting. It's a pretty open board with some floating tiles for 8s. You got this P. You got all these tiles here, so pretty good chance you bingo, I think. Let's see. Telomic is going to block a lot of things. Very interesting play. And it is challenged, but it's good. Looks like Feedlots would have played if Telomic hadn't blocked it. So an interesting choice by Conrad to challenge, because he knew he had a bingo if it comes off. But instead, Telomic is on the board, and what do you do with that? Maybe Def or okay, of. There you go. So Conrad going for a bingo here. Down by 15. If he can get a bingo down, he's back in this game. Let's see here. Maybe Chit or something here. 27 for that. Maybe you don't want to open the board. You could just play Hat. It's a little bit weaker equity-wise, but doesn't open anything up. Yeah, Tenfolds would have played making TY. There you go. All right, so Chim is the choice from Jesse. Chim is not a word, though, right? I don't think it's good. Yeah, Chim isn't good. But it stays on, and Conrad just bingos playing Ladettes. And now, looks like no bingo plays here. Yeah, it's Mitch, not Chim, right? If you just go to anagram Chim. Yeah, it's only Mitch. All right, no A for Contagia, no L for Locating. I don't think there's a bingo you can play here, but Jesse's going to take his time and look. Also, if you don't bingo, what do you play? Not easy to find a great scoring play or a great fish either. Just a difficult spot. He plays Lack for 24. Not bad. Pretty good scoring choice. And now Conrad ditches the Q. So Conrad's up by 24. Jesse's on turn. Very close game. I think there's still not a bingo, but Rings is a nice scoring play. 36 for Rings, and very close here in game 6. Zowie comes down and, ooh, Jesse bingos. Notepads for 62. He now leads. But Conrad's going to have a chance to come back here. Only down by 38, still very close. If he can just find a way to score decently, keep a good lead, he's got a chance to get a bingo down at some point, and he is not dead yet. 19 tiles still in the bag. There's not a lot of open lanes here. Bryce scores well, 32. You can actually win without a bingo here. Bryce +5 for the challenge, and it is a 1-point game, folks. 1-point game. Augens, no spot for that, but God for 19 is an okay score. And Ebrios, also not going to play. Bingoing is just not going to happen very easily on this board at all. So Conrad down by 30 after the play of God. And he is now over on time. About 45 seconds until he flags. He plays Obe. And Jesse draws the second blank. Wow, that is a huge draw. He's also got the J-hook for Job. Looks like he's got no valid J-word here without burning his blank. But he might consider just playing Jink. Probably not, though. You could still get bingoed on after Jink. It's probably not worth doing. But 41 and a pretty good defensive position is not bad. Maybe worth considering. Jesse's really taking his time here. Both players are over. He plays Junk. Okay. And Tertian, Triones, do they play? Oh, Ostrin, Orients, they do play. Okay. Literally okay. Okay, and Ostrin, you can also play it underneath Junk. All right, he plays Orients here. Conrad leads by 20. It's Jesse on turn. 4 tiles left on Conrad's rack. This is going to be very close in the end game. Fervors doesn't play. Jesse's got 15 seconds now, down by 20. Refs, ooh, look at that. Refs, very nice. And then you got Roves into it. A great out in 2. And I don't think Conrad can make anything. He plays Koros. Jesse's just too low on time. He's got 2 seconds now. And this time it'll be Jesse who flags. So Conrad gets the win in game number 6, and we are all tied up 3-3. Heading for a dramatic finish here. Yeah, oh, upset would have been the outplay. Never mind. Okay, so, yeah, Jesse didn't flag. You're right. Conrad just had the outplay. That's all that was. Either way, Conrad gets the win, and we are all tied up 3-3, heading for a very close finish here. Either 2 games to go or 3. We'll find out. Somebody's going to go up 4-3, and then somebody's going to have a chance to close it out. Pretty much a 50-50 chance that this is decided in 8 games, and a 50-50 chance it goes 9. So we are all tied up 3-3 with a dramatic finish to come. Hope you guys are enjoying this match as much as I am. It has been a blast to cover. All right, here we go. Game number 7. Conrad's going first. He plays oneself to open. 78-point bingo, but I see Jailbird as a massive double-double, and Jesse sees it too. 118 points to open for Jesse Day. Wow. 118 to 78 after the first 20 seconds of the game. And so here we go. Conrad with Quay, a big scoring play coming right back. We've got a banger already. Jesse's going to slow down a little bit, I bet. There's no clear star play here. You could maybe play something like Way, but the leaf's pretty ugly. LRRUV. Oh, yeah, Quay would have played here. Wow. So, yeah, he missed a better spot for Quay. Would have been over 70, it looks like. And Way actually blocks Ignominies into this S, so he actually ends up blocking the bingo. Mini for 46, though, is a nice score for Conrad. So here we go. High scoring game for both players so far. And it's a close one, 170 to 165. Let's see here. You could play Goes for 28. Probably not worth doing. Kind of a middling rack for Conrad. Not going to score too much. Not going to bingo either. Not easy to find the best choice here. Oh, yeah, it's pronounced key. You're right, aren't you? All right, noted for next time. It's key. All right, dodge for 16 by Conrad. His leave is EST. Trying to get a bingo down soon, and it looks like he's going to get one. And Twines plays. And that might be the only bingo that plays, right? He's got entwines through this N. And, oh yeah, weeniest is also a word. Okay. So weeniest here. Oh yeah, entwines does come down. 60 points, 64 points for entwines, and Conrad's up by a bingo here. The B and the V, not a lot of synergy there for Jesse, but you can certainly play through it and try to get a bingo down next turn. Yeah, over Bant, there you go. So you could play something like maybe above, keeping NRT, that's one option. Oh, Bravo, there you go. 29 points for Bravo and an open board. He's going to hope Conrad draws poorly, and he kind of does draw poorly. 3 O's, not looking too great for Conrad. He plays Olio, and it's going to be a pretty open board for Jesse to try to come back. Only down by 48. He's got lots of places to play for some points. Something like Payat would score 36. That's an option. Both players doing just fine on the clock. Minute 35-ish for both of them. So Jesse taking his time here, pretty much for the first time all game. And it's an interesting position. You got an open hotspot here in the bottom right corner, an open hotspot here as well. Potentially some bingos through these floating tiles at some point. An open bingo lane here underneath Dodger. Lots of ways to come back. Jesse's just trying to manage his options here and keep things open for himself. He plays prop and rotator. That is not a word at all. Wow, that comes off. And a free turn for Jesse, who's now down by 15. And he's got Tyson Y. Maybe you try to fish off your Y and try to bingo soon. Let's see here. Yeah, rotator with an ER was played. But Jesse with the free turn here doesn't know what to do. He's got this Tyson Y rack, and there's no obvious spot for the Y, really. All right, he plays it there for 10, keeping Tyson. And let's see here. Rot for 12. And Atnese comes down. That might do it. Jesse pulls ahead, and it looks like still not a bingo draw here for Conrad. He could maybe try to fish for something, but it's going to be tough. Still 22 tiles in the bag, though. Long way to go. He just plays gut, keeping AEIRT. And, ooh, Zit for 67, keeping the blank. Jesse's in great shape now. So, looking pretty bleak for Conrad. Jesse looking to go up 4 games to 3, and he's in good shape here. Up by 131. Id for 24, but the X and the blank. Lots of good stuff here for Jesse. He plays Huck for 33, keeping the X and blank. Conrad bingos, but it looks like Jesse's still going to be ahead. Just any kind of X play here at all is going to be just fine. Lax is 44. It would leave one in the bag as well. Looking like Jesse's got this. No flagging danger either. He's got almost a full minute left with 4 tiles in the bag. Lax looks pretty natural, and he does indeed play Lax. And it looks like Conrad is going to have no hope here with 5 vowels. He just plays feet. And wow, this might even be a bingo here. What does Jesse have? I feel like there's something. There you go. Incomes is a word. All right, so 565, I believe that's the high game of the match, and Jesse Day gets the win in crucial Game 7, putting him now ahead 4 games to 3. And from here on out, the task is simple. Conrad's got to win 2 in a row to save his tournament life. So 4 to 3 with 2 games to come. And now Jesse is 1 win away from closing this thing out. One more look at your bracket. It is Jesse against Conrad here, and if Jesse wins, he will advance to play the winner of Will Anderson versus Aaron Bader in the next round. So a lot at stake here with Jesse looking to close it out and Conrad looking to win 2 more to come back and win the match. We shall see what happens. I see Jesse and Conrad are in the chat chatting about their phony 4s. Yeah, so all right, moving on to game number 8. And we'll see. All right, so here's a look at the schedule. We're going to have Conrad and Jesse, who are currently in progress, and then after that, we're going to have Aaron Bader versus Will Anderson, followed by David Eldar and Matthew O'Connor. All right, so we are moving on to game number 8, and sorry about the brief sound outage. There was no mic issue. It was just me not talking. Just had to check the chat to see what was going on. It looks like we are going to resume, though, and game 8 happens now. We got Conrad looking to win 2 in a row here to come back and win this match, and it is 4 games to 3 right now in Jesse's favor. Jesse taking his time here with his opening rack. It's a tricky one. Let's see here. Not seeing great option here, but Jesse really using his time here. Wow, he's used 45 seconds almost. He just exchanges 1. Wow, he's keeping passed as his bingo stem here. And Conrad exchanges as well. So passed plus an N. I don't think that's a bingo. But we'll see. Maybe there's another. Yep, he just exchanges 1 again. And so now we're going to have a bingo from Conrad. He's got instead. I think instead looks pretty good here. Doesn't put any vowels next to doubles. Doesn't have any hooks either. But take your pick. Any of the 70-point bingos look fine here for Conrad. He plays Stained. That works too. And Spandex and Expands are the bingos here. Do they play? I'm not sure, actually. This is tricky. Yeah, if you can't bingo, you do have Expends. Yeah, great call by Ed there. Expends is 68. So I don't think there's a spot where Expands or Spandex will fit. And it looks like Jesse's not going to find one either. So 68 points for the bingo, and it's now back to Conrad. Close game here, 70-68. Both players have used quite a bit of time figuring out these early racks. They're not easy to figure out. But Conrad does have more time on the clock than Jesse does. 87-68. So both players kind of taking their time here. Fa for 23 comes down. And I see Morbiter and Emborder come, 67 points for Emborder for Conrad here. And it looks like a pretty good lead here for Conrad so far. Can Jesse come back? Let's see here. No R for Cinerary. The R is just not quite in the open space that he needs. So let's see here. It is Jesse down by quite a bit here. He plays Carney for 38. Nice scoring play. And it's going to open some bingo possibilities for him as well. He keeps EI as his leave. Conrad draws a very heavy consonant rack, and what can he do with it? Not seeing a great J or Z play here. You could just play like Moz, I suppose. 43 points for that, and he does. All right, Moz for 43. And maybe Wilier here is an option. Score some points with your W, 26. Looking for a spot for Iwi or something. Not really seeing it. Jesse pretty low on time, already in his last 35 seconds or so. Rowie for 16, keeping ILT. So Conrad's got the advantage here, up by over 100 now after Japer. But Jesse draws the first blank. He's got Lithist and Thistle. I don't think those are going to play. Oh, Lithist and Japers, there you go. Lithist here is a monster play, 103. All right, he plays Lithates instead, 72. That's a miss, but it's still going to be a nice bingo. That'll put him in shape here. He's only down by 40. Ooh, Quino, big play from Conrad. Here we go. Conrad is up by almost 100. So, Volted for 28. Jesse trying to come back. Volted does open a pretty big spot up top here. He'll have a chance. Which, nice play by Conrad. Yeah, Fish would have worked as well. Good call. So Conrad's up by 77. Or 83 or something. I can't do math. And Jesse's trying to come back, but he doesn't have the right rack for it right now. Is there a way to fish with this? This is difficult. Very difficult. Don't think you really have anything through this E that's that attractive. You don't really want to play like Glenn keeping ROTT. Yeah, this is not pretty. Jesse letting his clock run pretty low. 25 second silly flags. Oh, Gal and Quinal. There you go. Can play Gal for 19. Yeah, that's not bad. Oh, and he does play it. Nice play. And a flamed. Conrad just keeps scoring. He is pretty far ahead now. Jesse trying to fight back, but I don't think it's going to happen for him here. Down by 112, and it's Conrad on turn. Resign gang out in full force here, I see. It's hard to resign, you know, game 8 with your tournament on the line like this. But looking like it's pretty likely that Conrad's got this. Conrad plays Tibier, and Jesse keeps on fighting. He is within 100 and something, 109. Looking pretty bleak. And Conrad's got the second blank as well, so that'll be all she wrote. Soakers for 98 will do it. So Jesse will either resign or flag or play out, but in any event, it will be a win for Conrad. 501, 294, and we are going on to a game 9 for all the marbles. All right. You love to see it. Tied 4-4. Game number 9 coming, and it'll all come down to this. Just a reminder, we got more Scrabble coming your way after this. Aaron Bader against Will Anderson at twitch.tv/AxerTypo. And then we're going to have Eldar and O'Connor streaming both of their matches against each other on their respective Twitch channels after that. So, exciting night of Scrabble for you all to enjoy. Hope you guys are having fun. Hope you guys are liking it. Yeah, we've had a lot of close matches. Just a reminder of how the bracket has gone so far. It was Chris May and Andrew Fisher with a 5-4 decision in Andrew's favor, and then Janul De Silva against Jacob Teitelbaum was a 5-3 win for Janul. So very close matches all around so far. We'll see if that keeps up. We're going to have Will and Aaron after this, and then David and Matthew after that. Wow, Deldar with the trash talk in the chat. 5-0 O'Connor, he says. Okay. Anything can happen, I suppose. The reverse trash talk, both guys talking each other up. All right, back to the board as game 9 is coming soon, I would imagine. Oh, and here we go, right on cue. Game 9 gets underway. So Conrad is first. Clunky rack for Conrad to start. This is game 9. The winner of this game will advance to the second round. Everything on the line. Bong for 14. And Warrigal, nice bingo. 66 points for Warrigal, and Jesse has the lead early. Can he hold on? It is challenge, it is good. +5, 71-14. Jesse leads here in game 9. J, Q, and Z all at once for Conrad. What can be done? This is a very difficult rack. He just exchanges JQVZ. Wow. Just throwing 32 points back in the bag in 4 tiles. All right, so Jesse's got a 1 bingo lead here, and some okay scoring potential on this rack. You could play like Hoy or something, 24 points for that. Okay, you keeping the board a little bit more closed, but Diatine's going to come down. 70 points for Diatine. And what has Jesse drawn here? I don't think there's a bingo with any of these tiles. Would love to have a P for Doge ship or something like that, but yeah, no Shogi, unfortunately. This is not easy. You probably want to take out this triple if you can. I mean, just Hod is like not crazy, keeping an okay leave. He plays Wig, keeping the board wide open, and wow, Notarize is coming. Notarize for 84 and the lead for Conrad. Here we go. Now it's Jesse's turn to try to come back. Triple is still open, but he's not going to play anything this turn. At least not a triple. He could just play like a normal triple, like Kendo for 30 would be reasonable here. Let's see, what else? Okay, Oak for 30, leaving the triple open still, living dangerously. Close game. Conrad up by 23, and he's on turn. He's got 2 S's, which will certainly come in handy. You could burn one S with shop for 35 if you want to. That's one choice. Oh, phimoses is a word. Very nice. Wow. So phimoses plays for 80 points here. Oh, it's missed, but nudities for 72 comes down from Jesse. He's got the bingo, and he leads now by 14. Look at this draw. I think emprism is a word, maybe? Spimmer. Oh. Wasn't sure of spimmer. It's spimmer, not emprism. Okay. All right, so Jesse pulls ahead here. Overleaf is another bingo. And he's got a lead of 23, but Conrad's on turn. He's got Aeneas. I would expect Aeneas to come down. I think this is the spot for it, right? And he sure does play at 74. And Jesse's now down by a bingo with 22 tiles in the bag. What can he do to come back? No spot for Cultivar or Out Cavil. Looks like no bingo plays. This is going to be tough. Jesse's down by 51 late in the game here. He plays Vault. Conrad draws the Q. Doesn't look like a good Q here. What can he do with it? He's got this play. Okay, he plays FY, keeping the Q. And he's up by 60. There's some open bingo lines, but they're not great ones. He's got this open O, maybe. Can Jesse try to open anything more, maybe? He plays Crest. He'll try to draw an S. Wow, Racket, but no spot for Racket, I don't think. He plays off the Q, but wow, look at this draw. What does Jesse have? If he's got a bingo here, he might have a shot. Bigots plus a blank is no 7. Wow. There is no 7 making crests. I'm seeing Globius mentioned in the chat. I don't know where that goes. What does he have? He might just have nothing. Oh, Bigfoots. There you go. Bigfoots through the O and Aeneas plays. Tough to see. Jesse's taking his time here. Bigfoots actually plays for quite a good score. 78 would put him virtually tied in this game. He'd be up by 6 if he finds Bigfoots. He does! Wow! Bigfoots for the lead. 2 tiles in the bag. Here we go. Tough pre-end game coming. Conrad challenges. Now it's an 11-point game. 2 tiles in the bag. What can Conrad do? He's got 45 seconds plus the extra minute. It's going to be very close. Conrad plays Crowds for 33. He's up by 32. Jai puts Jesse ahead. Conrad down by 11. He's got ELNT. What can he do? Where does ELNT go on this board? I'm not seeing it. What does he have? Wow, this is going to be very close. If he can't go out and Jesse's got the X, he's going to score well with it. This is going to be very, very close. If he can't go out and Jesse scores with the X, Jesse's got EX over here for a very good score. Tone blocks EX, but Poxed is 30 and Jesse pulls ahead. Jesse wins by a final of 485-438. Jesse wins the game and he wins the match 5-4. Wow, what a finish. A very close end game. Jesse Day finding Bigfoots late in the game for a massive bingo and then holding on at the end. He draws the X and scores just enough to survive an intense endgame. 485-438 is your final, and Jesse Day wins the game and the match. 5-4 is your final. Wow. Just a very, very intense match. It was tied 1-1. It was tied 2-2. And then the final 5 games went to Jesse, Conrad, and Jesse. Just back and forth they go. And in the end, it is a 5-4 victory for Jesse Day, eliminating Conrad Bassett-Bouchard from the tournament. Just an incredible finish. Bigfoots and then a very intense endgame that Jesse, under pressure, is able to win. So Jesse wins the match 5-4, and he will advance to the second round. Let's go to the bracket. Here's how things look now. We can go ahead and adjust this on your screen for you. So round 2, we will have Jesse Day moving on by a score of 5-4. If I could just find, all right, so Jesse with 5 game wins and Conrad with 4. We can go ahead and update this on your screen right now and show you how the bracket looks. So we've got 5 games to 4 in Jesse's favor. And then we can have Jesse advancing to the second round. So in dramatic fashion, it is Jesse advancing, and he will play the winner of Will Anderson and Aaron Bader. And of course, that match is coming up right now. So I would imagine that Josh is already live, and he is. So I'm going to go ahead and send a raid in the direction of Josh Sokol. You guys can watch as Josh is going to broadcast the next match. It'll be Will Anderson against Aaron Bader, and the winner will play Jesse Day in the next round. So this is going to be a lot of fun finding out who Jesse plays next. Looking forward to that. I'm going to go ahead and send a raid in the direction of Mr. Axer himself, Josh. Hope you guys enjoy that match, Will versus Aaron, followed by Matthew O'Connor and David Eldar after that. Looking forward to these next two. Gonna be fun. Enjoy Josh's stream. For now, I'm Evans Clinchy. So long. Have a nice night.